Okay, everyone, here is a review of clauses. Remember that clauses have both a subject and a verb. Unlike phrases, phrases don't have a subject and verb. Clauses do, and some can stand alone as a sentence. We call those independent clauses. Simple sentences are actually just independent clauses. For instance, the old standby see spot run. That is an independent clause because it can stand alone. Of course, it does have an understood you see spot run, but still, since it makes sense by itself, it's called an independent clause. The ones we're really going to concentrate on, though, are those groups of words that have a subject and verb but cannot stand alone. In other words, they don't express a complete thought. So we call these subordinate or dependent clauses. We'll be calling them subordinate clauses, but in many grammar books they will call this a dependent clause. There are three types that we looked at. We looked at adjective clauses, adverb clauses, and noun clauses. Let's start with the easiest one, adjective clauses. They modify or tell about a noun or pronoun, just like any adjective does. The red ball. Red modifies ball. That's an adjective. An adjective clause is doing the very same thing. It's modifying a noun or pronoun, but it's doing it with a group of words that has a subject and a verb. Here's an example. This is the kind of ice cream that I like. That I like, notice I've put that in red to show the adjective clause. And which word would that be modifying? You're right, ice cream. The teacher who helped me is Mr. Falco. Who helped me modifies teacher or tells about teacher. Notice that if we took out that clause there, the teacher who helped me, the sentence would still make some sense. The teacher is Mr. Falco. Who helped me, unless I put a question mark after it, wouldn't stand on its own. Adverb clauses will modify or tell about a verb, an adjective, or an adverb, just as any adverb clause does, or any adverb does, I should say. Here are some examples. Before winter began. Well, if you look at that, winter is the subject, began is the verb, but that word before makes it a subordinate clause because before winter began doesn't make sense just by itself, even though it has a subject and a verb. So it's a subordinate clause, and it's telling us when we will plant bulbs. Notice that the introductory adverbial clause always is set off with a comma, as this one is, when it comes at the beginning of the sentence. When it is an introductory adverbial clause, it is set off with a comma. In this sentence, I will go to the game after I finish my homework. After I finish my homework has a subject, I, and a verb, finish. It even has a direct object, homework. But after I finish my homework is not a complete thought. It does tell us, though, when we will go to the game. So it's telling when an action will happen. So it's modifying a verb. It's an adverb clause. Now, echoing what we said just a moment ago about introductory adverbial clauses, notice that if I were to put that clause at the beginning of this sentence, after I finish my homework, I will go to the game. I would have to put a comma after the word homework if it came at the beginning rather than at the end. It also reminds us that adverbial clauses can be moved around a little bit. Noun clauses can do those famous 6 jobs of Nancy Noun. Subject, predicate nominative, direct object, indirect object, object of the preposition, and appositive. Here are some examples of noun clauses. Whatever you can learn about computers. You, subject, can learn, verb. So I've got a subject and a verb, but whatever you can learn about computers doesn't stand alone. However, it is the subject of the sentence because the verb of the entire sentence is will be. We ask ourselves, what will be? Whatever you can learn about computers will be. So it is serving as the subject, therefore it's a noun clause. Also remember that noun clauses can generally be replaced with a pronoun and you'll have a sentence that still makes sense. In this case, for instance, I could say, it will be helpful to you in your work. You'll also want to go back and look through your notes for words that commonly introduce noun clauses. Words like whatever. Also, you'll find things like whomever, whoever, whether, what, that, how, just a whole lot of words that can introduce these noun clauses. Here's another one that starts with whatever. Whatever computer classes are available. Computer classes would be the subject, are the verb. And again, that could not stand alone, but it is the thing that is taken. You should take it. See, I could replace that whole clause with the word it. And then it would be easy to see that that clause is functioning as the direct object. It is the thing that should be taken. The basics of computers is what you must learn. What you must learn is the same thing as basics of computers, and so it is therefore the predicate nominative. Again, one of those 6 jobs of the noun. So the first thing you want to do is find the essence of the entire sentence. Something will be helpful in the first sentence. What will be helpful? We're not saying computers will be helpful. We're saying whatever you can learn about computers will be helpful. And we see that that whole clause has a subject, a verb, but can't stand by itself. That entire clause is the subject of the sentence. We don't have a one-word subject in this case. You should take what? You should take whatever. That doesn't convey the meaning of the sentence. You should take whatever computer classes are available. The basics of computers is what you must learn. So it means the same thing as the basics, linked with a linking verb. Therefore, it's the predicate nominative.